Alberta taxpayers get some money back. The province reveals its plan to help with the cost of living. Getting the word out about crime.
Kind of going back to an old school way of drawing people's attention back to issues within their neighborhood.
Police warn Calgarians about a rash of break-ins. And uncovering a mystery at Lake Minnewanka.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Ian White.
Good afternoon. The provincial government has announced what it calls a new affordability measure. Instead of a gas tax rebate, it will be cutting $100 checks for Albertans who qualify. Mark Villani joins us with details. And Mark, why did the province decide on rebate checks rather than cutting the 13-cent a litre fuel tax?
Well, Ian, Alberta's government says this is about making sure relief actually reaches Albertans directly rather than depending on whether or not they drive or purchase gas. They argue that a one-time payment can be spent on anything from food or rent, utility bills during what they call a high-cost period. But critics say it's more symbolic than substantive when it comes to overall affordability. Now, starting July 1st, this is how it works. The province says nearly 3.4 million Albertans will be eligible to apply online for a one-time $100 payment dubbed the Alberta Energy Rebate. To qualify, you must be over 18, have filed a tax return, and have a household income under $225,000. The move comes as gas has spiked in recent months due to the conflict in Iran, and Alberta is pulling in more revenue from high oil prices. Smith defended the $340 million provincial payout to help offset the current cost of living.
Fuel goes into the price of food as well, and people need to have relief on that front. There are others who might take the bus, might be able to be fine on food, but maybe the utility bills is the one that's a little bit more difficult. So we believe that people need to have an equivalent amount of money that they otherwise would have got through the rebate. That's why we've put that forward, and we also believe that people need the choice to put it towards their pressing needs.
Meanwhile, Alberta's opposition NDP says that a one-time payment won't address long-term affordability issues. Opposition leader Naheed Nenshi says that the government is failing to deliver sustained relief on key costs like housing and daily expenses, arguing that this program is more about politics than lasting solutions. Ian.
Thank you, Mark. Former Alberta Chief Electoral Officer estimates the province's October referenda could cost taxpayers as much as $130 million. Lauren Gibson has also worked on elections in Manitoba and Saskatchewan. He says holding the fall vote will be substantially more than the 2023 general election, which cost about $37 million. A lot of that is due to more ballots to accommodate 10 questions and enough staff to administer and tally the vote. Elections Alberta is currently looking for about 60,000 workers, up from 13,000 in 2023.
If you make those assumptions and consider those factors, we're looking at the fall referendum costing something in the neighborhood of $120 to $130 million. And 4 months, 5 months is a short, very short time frame for all of this. Finding the staff, finding the facilities.
Elections Alberta tells us it won't have an official budget ready until the fall. When it does, the province will need to approve any request. The Premier says a coal mining question will not be added to the October referendum. Danielle Smith claims Elections Alberta set June 1st as the deadline for any additions. Plus, the Premier says this particular citizen initiative petition is complicated. Smith says there are private property rights that need to be considered, plus a previous non-binding referendum supporting the Grassy Mountain mine. It will be up to a legislative committee to determine the path forward, and that won't be formed until this fall. An Okotoks man charged with possessing and accessing child sexual exploitation materials has been arrested again. 35-year-old Corey Earhart was charged on June 3rd after police seized devices from his home with more than 500,000 explicit images and videos of children. On June 9th, Cochrane RCMP received a complaint that Earhart may have breached his release conditions. Police investigated the complaint and yesterday arrested him in High River. Earhart is in custody and is scheduled to appear in court in Cochrane on June 23rd. Police are warning the public about traveling crime groups that are targeting neighborhoods across the country and here in Calgary. These sandwich boards warn people to make sure doors and windows are locked and encourage the use of security systems and lights. Police say in 43 break-ins since the beginning of the year, there are many things in common. Those include accessing homes through backyards between 6 and 8 p.m. and focusing on small, high-value items like jewelry or currency. 3 vehicles have been identified as linked to these incidents: a Ford Escape, a Toyota RAV4, and a Toyota Highlander. Police say the sandwich boards are filling an information gap.
What we've been finding is that traditional means by social media and just have not been as effective. I think a lot of white noise has just created people aren't paying as much attention to certain crime trends. So the sandwich board signs that we started putting out were a way of going back to an old school way of drawing people's attention back to issues within their neighborhood.
Anyone with information is asked to contact police or Crime Stoppers. The City of Calgary is sending a message ahead of the first day of summer. Where there's water, there's risk. Just last week, firefighters rescued 7 people who were pinned on a bridge abutment on the Bow River. The city is stressing that water incidents, even drownings, can happen very quickly. Officers remind people that wearing a life jacket on a boat is the law, and it's also illegal to operate watercraft while impaired by alcohol or drugs.
From our perspective, on the bylaw side, our peace officers will be patrolling our riverbanks along the Elbow River and the Bow River to ensure that people are wearing life jackets as per the bylaw.
The city is also encouraging people to learn how to swim, and it's offering free swimming lessons on June 25th at 4 local swimming pools. New details today about the recreation and library facility planned for the West District in southwest Calgary. GEC Architecture has been chosen to design the proposed YMCA and public library. It's the same group behind the YMCA in Quarry Park and the Olympic Oval. The new rec center and library will be located along Broadcast Avenue on land donated by Truman. The area has seen significant growth in the past few years.
Which is an opportunity to bring approximately 60,000 square foot YMCA and library to the west part of Calgary. We know that this part of Calgary is underserved in terms of recreation, so an opportunity for Calgarians to engage in physical activity and learning and development all under one roof.
The project is still in the planning stages, but the goal is to have it built by early 2030. Construction will depend on funding from all 3 levels of government, along with philanthropic partners. Danielle joins us from Canmore with a peek at the weather. And Danielle, the gusty winds really picked up today.
Gusty winds, but not as gusty as yesterday. Active weather, but not quite as active as yesterday. So this, you could say, is a slight improvement, even though there is the risk of funnel cloud development and severe thunderstorms. So we still have active weather to talk about. Let's get into it a little bit here, and I'll show you the radar really quick. There is some development. You can see it's tracking from the north, so don't be surprised to run into some raindrops in the city, for example, but also the risk in Calgary of a non-severe thunderstorm. Outside of Calgary to the south, Bragg Creek and down Highway 2, that's where we have the risk of more severe storms with that larger size hail and the stronger wind gusts. And then in the lighter green there, off to the east, that's where we have the risk of potential rotation and funnel cloud development for the next few hours, and then things will wind down for the night. It's 18 degrees at the airport. All right, your 24-hour forecast is brought to you by 5th Avenue Volkswagen, family-owned, community-driven. Discover more at 5th Avenue Volkswagen. Gusting out of the north at least 50 kilometers per hour for the next 24 hours, and we do have the potential for isolated showers on and off right through this evening, overnight, and through tomorrow morning as well. We'll get some sunny breaks at times, only have high of 16, and then the potential for a non-severe thunderstorm tomorrow later in the day. All right, midnight tomorrow is the early bird deadline in the Home Lottery Mountain Edition. You could win the Mercedes G-Wagon early bird prize or take $250,000 cash. Get your tickets before midnight tomorrow at CalgaryMountainHomeLottery.com. Ian?
Thanks, Danielle. Researching family history has led to a surprise for one local family. Next, a survivor of the 60s scoop meets her sister for the first time. And the Hockey Hall of Famer who is now on a stamp. among other Indigenous sports leaders. Also, if you have a news tip, text us at 10400. It was a moment, a lifetime in the making for a 60s Scoop survivor and the sister she never knew she had.
Oh my God, look at you. Oh my goodness.
This was the Embrace by Sally Tripp on the left and her sister Marie Miller of Calgary. In Manitoba in 1955, their mother put them both into adoptive care. Their father was able to get Tripp back, but Miller ended up being taken by authorities and put up for adoption. Tripp always knew she had a sister and never gave up looking for her. But it was Miller who eventually found her through Ancestry.ca. The pair met for the first time last night in Strathmore.
It was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal to find.
He was crying.
Yeah, to find her after all this time, you know. And you know the sad part is she didn't know she had a family. I can't believe she's here. I can't.
I keep staring at her saying she's gonna disappear.
I don't want her. I can't let go of her. She's not going home. If she's going home, I'm going with her.
The two are set to meet with other relatives at a family reunion June 28th in Selkirk, Manitoba. Canada Post is honoring 3 Indigenous sports leaders whose legacies extend far beyond the field of play. The new stamps feature 6-time Stanley Cup champion Brian Trottier, as well as Edward Lenny, the man known as the father of the Northern Games, and Chief Wilton Littlechild. Littlechild competed in multiple sports around the world before becoming a lawyer and eventually an MP. He says sport gave him a way to move forward after surviving the experience of residential school. For more information, including how you can get a set of these stamps, head to our website. And Danielle joins us once again. You are in a beautiful show home out in Canmore.
Yeah, I'm very lucky to be out here, Ian, in Canmore, in this beautiful place. So this is the Grand Prize show home, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. But first, I do want to introduce Shannon McMillan, who's joining me today. Hi, Shannon.
Hi.
We get to spend the time in here, and
you're so lucky.
And it's actually two places, so it's a very unique property. So in addition to the Mercedes G-Wagon that someone could win for the early bird deadline, that's tomorrow, you can also win this unique grand prize. And I say unique because it's basically 2 properties in one, where you can have a lot of fun on your own, but also some revenue. So can you explain that a little bit?
That's right. It is one of our most unique properties yet, so we're very excited about it. It is a $2.8 million home in Canmore, and it is actually like 2 homes, so you can use it jointly as one. We're in the lower suite right now, which is 1,500 square feet, but the upper suite is over 600 and can be locked off and used on its own. Both are eligible for rental, so you could rent both. You could live in one, rent the second one. There are lots of possibilities,
which is pretty incredible. You can have your own place with keep your toothbrush out, keep all the stuff that you like around, and then still make an income on the other one.
That's right. We've been dreaming here this afternoon about all the possible ways we can use this place.
We have.
Yeah, it is incredible. And both suites come fully furnished, beautifully decorated, plus you have $50,000 cash. So there are lots of opportunities with this prize, our early bird prize, and we're almost 90% sold. So you definitely want to get your tickets right now.
Which I understand with prizes this amazing. All right, so thank you, Shannon. We're going to talk about the weather now, which is not as impressive as this wonderful place here. Okay, temperatures are cool, the weather's still active, and yeah, we're just looking at one of those unsettled weeks. Friday will be nice, but that's really the only day in the forecast. We're looking at a full bright day with warmer temperatures. It's 18 degrees in Calgary right now. We've had gust max out at 65 kilometers per hour, 52 in Medicine Hat, in the 40s for Lethbridge and Brooks. Keep in mind, yes, this is windy, but yesterday Medicine Hat maxed out at 122 kilometer per hour gusts. and we were over 70 in Calgary. So it's a bit of a tamer day, but it's still active and there's still things to watch out for. So keep your eyes on the sky for sure. A lot of the weather is tracking down the mountains towards the southwest corner of the province when we're looking at the most active weather, and closer to the Saskatchewan border, as you can see here. For us in Calgary, we're not under a watch or a warning or a statement. Just isolated showers, some wind at times, like what we've already seen, and the potential for a non-severe thunderstorm. South of Calgary, well, basically Bragg Creek and south, that's where we have the severe thunderstorm watch in place. So larger size hail is possible with some of these cells. Now things are starting to wind down a little bit, but still for the next 2 hours, there is the potential of these cells to reach the more severe criteria with those larger size hail and damaging winds. Off to the east, basically Strathmore and east of QE2, east of Highway 2, there is the potential for rotation with some of these storms, and that is why we could see some funnel cloud development. So again, still one of those days to keep your eyes on the sky and take it seriously. All right, as we look through the next 5 days, 16 degrees for tomorrow, a little unsettled as well, but non-severe. And then Friday's bright, sunny, 22 degrees. Midnight tomorrow is the early bird deadline in the Home Lottery Mountain Edition. You could win the Mercedes G-Wagon early bird prize or take $250,000 cash. Get your tickets before midnight tomorrow at CalgaryMountainHomeLottery.com.
Thanks, Danielle. Calgary is a major draw for Canadian and international tourists. Still to come, how many passengers Calgary's airport anticipates this summer. The markets react to the U.S. Federal Reserve and its decision to stand pat on interest rates. Joining me is Liana Wachniak, investment advisor with the Popwich-Kermally Advisory Group. And Liana, the Federal Reserve has an impact on the markets today.
That's right. And it's not just the decision to hold interest rates, because that was widely expected by traders as we were working through the market day today. In fact, it was actually some of the other data that they released around it, including the note that 9 of the Federal Reserve governors see the potential for maybe even hiking rates by the end of the year if things remain the way that they are. Now, that would actually put a negative pressure on the market overall. If it costs more for companies to borrow, then obviously it's more expensive for them to do business. So when you do see interest rates go up, you tend to see markets adjust downward a little bit because they have to temper the growth expectations a little bit for companies. That was what drove the sell-off largely today after that announcement was made.
Also, retail sales in May in the U.S. on the rise.
That's right. And American consumers seem to be quite resilient. We actually saw that number up 0.9% in May. That was more than economists were looking for. And again, one more area is showing just some strength in the U.S. economy and not necessarily the cooling of inflation that they were hoping to see. Now, part of that did come from the increase in gasoline prices, but that Americans are also spending more on things like furniture purchases, online shopping, clothing to some extent. So it's not just gasoline that is driving that particular purchasing, which means that there is still some resilience there. And again, that also contributed to some of the negative sentiment on the markets today.
Liana, thanks for the update.
Thank you.
The provincial government is cutting $100 checks for Albertans who qualify. Here's Tara Nelson with a look ahead to CTV News at 6.
Hi, Ian. The UCP is offering this rebate instead of suspending the provincial fuel tax. The province claims this method will put more money into people's pockets and offer more choice about how to spend it. Coming up at 6, we'll have a reaction to the $100 handout. Also ahead, a former Alberta chief electoral officer estimates the fall referenda will cost taxpayers up to $130 million. Coming up, what the province's finance minister says about that number. Ian.
Thank you, Tara. Calgary International Airport is looking ahead to another record summer. The airport is projecting 6.1 million travelers will pass through YYC this summer. That's 66,000 people every day. Last summer, records were set in July and August with 4 million passengers at the airport over the summer. The airport advises travelers to come ready and come early. Check in at least 2 hours before a domestic flight, 3 hours before an international flight in order to avoid any delays. at the airport. A hiking trail popular with tourists remains closed in Canmore. The province says the Grassy Lakes area is expected to remain off limits for an extended period of time. Earlier this month, there was a rock slide on the Smith-Dorian Trail. A portion of the gravel road leading out of Canmore has been closed because of slope stability concerns. The province says it's working to secure a contractor for the highway repair work. In the meantime, people can access Highway 742 through Peter Lougheed Provincial Park. The White Museum in Banff is pretty excited about the mystery structure found at Lake Minnewanka. Last month, Parks Canada were alerted to the ground collapsing by the beach area. Officials believe it was caused by the failure of a roof for an unknown underground structure dating back before the 1950s or 60s. An archivist at the White Museum says construction of the dam was well documented, but this recent discovery could provide a glimpse into what the process was like working there.
When Calgary Power decided to tap the lake for hydro, specifically for the war effort, it expanded the lake. We have the construction and we can see what's there now, but it's those little in-between bits. So to see something pop up, it's sort of like, it's a fantastic opportunity to explore how they actually did that.
The area remains fenced off for safety, and park visitors are asked to stay well clear of the area. An unsettled situation in our weather for a few days right now in Calgary. Lots of clouds and 18 degrees. Danielle has the details coming up. So Danielle, if anyone is planning a trip to Canmore or anywhere else in the Rocky Mountains, they might want to consider taking a rain jacket with them.
Yep. I would wear a rain jacket no matter where you are in southern Alberta for the rest of today, and to be honest, for tomorrow as well, because it's just as unsettled tomorrow. All right, so 18 degrees is the current temperature at the airport. Don't know why it says 15 is today's high. Today's high was 18 degrees. Looking at the longer range forecast, unsettled once again tomorrow, still gusty tomorrow, so those gusts will remain around 50 kilometers per hour, and then 22 on Friday with mainly sunny skies.
Thanks, Danielle. Calgary barista has once again been named Canadian champion. Jill Hoff won the National Barista Competition this past weekend in Calgary. Her winning coffee included a newly discovered bean, along with a bean that's getting renewed attention because of its resilience in the face of climate change. This is Hoff's second time winning the event. She also got the top spot in 2020. Hoff will represent Canada at the World Barista Championship in Panama in October. Thanks for joining us. FIFA World Cup coverage is preempting our 5 p.m. news tomorrow. Our local news will begin at 6:30 p.m. Now, here's the early edition of the CTV National News.